Welcome to Macrocode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So we are going to proceed with our documents management system. So in this channel, this is where we build real world solutions, and we are able to demonstrate and show you how you can build documents management system using ASP.NET Core and SQL Server. So if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So on our previous video, we were able to do some very important things. So I'll just come to our app. So this is our application. It's just a minute. So here we have our dashboard. So you can see this is how our dashboard looks like. We have document categories. We have the shared documents. We have the monthly documents upload. So we've not been able to bind this data to our application. So if you want to see how we are going to bind this data to our application, stay tuned and also follow our episodes. So we have the file request. So here you can do file request, and this is our electronic documents management system. We have add new. So you should be able to clean our folder. So our page, you see how this page looks like. Then we have documents. So these are active documents. If you click active documents, then you should be able to add a document. So here you can create a new document. You say a new document. Then you provide the folder name. Then we say this is a training manual. It's for this department. Retention period, retention action, whether once the retention period elapses, what we need to do, we can delete. Then you can also attach a file. Then you can provide a comment. So you can say good document. So then I'll say add. So as you can see, our document has been added. We have all this list of documents here. And you can see our document has numbers. So these numbers are automatically generated by the system, and you cannot guess them. We also have clients. So we have our clients here. So these are a list of clients. You can create a new client. You say this is testing. Then we have, you say this is testing client. We have address, say testing address. We also have a phone number, and provide the phone number. Say test, this is the contact person, the email address, then you can add a client. We also have folders. So you can see here we have, this is a list of folders that we have. So you can add a new folder. You say folder, you can say test folder, and say this is testing folder. So then you also have a folder name. So you'll do here testing folder. Then you can provide the folder parent folder. So if this is a parent folder, then you don't need to choose this. But if it's a subfolder, then you choose the parent folder. Then I click add folder, and you can see. So for the system, we have audit trails. So on the audit trails, you can tell the full name, the audit type, whether a record has been added or deleted or even edited. So you can see that. We also have system code. We have so system code here is actually the table. So every data that you do, we are tracking the tables. So you can see these are the tables that are being updated. We also have the timestamp when this was done. We have the primary key, and that is it. So then we have the users. So these are the list of users in our application, and we're actually using ASP and NetCode. So if you want to, if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, just consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. So tell us where you're watching it from, and we'll be happy to engage. So here we have the username, email address, first name, middle name, last name, address, and created on. So if you click new, you can create users. So you see here we have the username, email address, first name, last name, address, phone number, ethnicity. You have the country and even the password. Then you have the roles. So you can have, so these are system roles, and these are roles based on, so you're creating different roles here. So for example, you can say system developer. So this is a role name. Then you can provide a description about the role. Then you can just add it. So that's one thing. Then we have, so we've not done user permissions, but we'll be doing that. We have departments. So you can create departments in the system. Here we have, you can do new department. We say this is a security department. So this is security department. So for code, you can say security department. Then this is the name. Then you can just add. We have countries as well. You can see we have different countries here. So you can say this is ETH. Then you can say this is Ethiopia. Ethiopia. We can add here. So tell us your country. We can add your country here. So I'll say India. This is India. So I don't know. So this is just sample codes. So don't worry about it. I'll add. Then you can also add another country here. We can say, let's say SZA. We can say this is Zambia. We can add it there. We can also add another country. We can say LE, Lesotho. Lesotho. Can add that. Can also add another one. Say MA. Say this could be Malawi. Can add another one. You can say here which other country. Say FJ. This is Fiji, and I can add that. So these are a list of countries. So as you can see here, we have the country code, the country name, created on and created by, and you can also edit. So then you have the system codes. So these are just codes that help us to group the drop-down options. For example, gender. So we are doing here gender, then on the system code details, we do now, so if I do here gender, we say male. So you can see here male, female. So this is male and female. We can even add the group here. So if we go to system code details, let me just go to system code details. So this is our code. So just go to system code details. Where is it? Where is it? So we have it here under index. So if we go to our controller, system code details. So under index, we realize that we have, so here I'll say system codes. Then I can do here await. Then you can do, let's say here dot include. Also have here dot include. You have dot include here. Then I can say this is to list async. To list async. I do that, then I can system code details. So I'll say this is details. Then here I can just have this here. I can also do something here because this is I can do as no tracking. We're just displaying the list of records. We are not doing anything. So this will make our app a bit faster. So so you see we have something here we are calling .include. I'll remove this. We have this system code. So on our index page, we can come here and we say we have here we can include system code. I'll say here system code. And if we go to our, we say this is our display name. This is how it looks. So this is the display name. So I'll also I'll have here my system code ID. Then down here, I'll have my full name. So I'll just do that, and I can say this is this system code. So this will be system code then dot description. So if we relaunch our app, then we should be able to see now the codes based on the groups that we've done. So for gender, we'll see gender. For the statuses, we'll also see statuses, and we should be good to proceed. So we are going to build this particular electronic documents management system and ensure that we are able to incorporate some of the feedback that you guys have. So if you have any comment, just drop a comment down below and we'll be happy to incorporate. You can see this is our dashboard. We have here our system codes now. And if we go to it, you can see now we have these codes here. So this is what we've just included so that we're able to see. For example, here I can say gender and I can see all this. So you can see on gender, we've been actually able to add some options that are not, we can edit this and we can select here instead of system code gender, we say that is retention period and we can update. So if I come here and say gender again, you can see we now have 3. Then this one, internal memo, is a document type. So I'll just edit. And here on, I'll say document type and update. So gender, you should only be having 2 values. So you can see that means our editing is working perfect and we are good. Now, previously, we were able to create file requests. So this is where users will be requesting files. So as you can see here, we have a list of file requests. We don't have any record currently. So you can say new. And if we say new, then you see this form looks a bit crowdy and it's not even clear what it represents. So let's just go to our layout. That is our Razor pages. Under create, we've been having different styles. So I'll just borrow some styles that we have created, and these are the styles that we have. I'll just want to wrap these within this particular layout. So I'll go to file request on create. Then I can replace this. I can say this is a request new file. So you can request a new file. Then you can say this is add new file request. So that add new file request. Then here you can do here. So I want to have 2 columns per row. I'll do MD6. Then so this is the file name. Now there is one thing that we made and we are going to change that. So here we have here document, that is MD6. You have this department. You also have here requested by. You have here approver ID. We have status ID. So let me just do this and also add it here. Then you have file extension. You also have here approved on. But there are some things that we don't need. For example, created by we don't need, modified by we don't need. So you can remove this because they are being added by the system. I'll also have rejected. I'll remove that. Approved. File extension is fine. Status also we don't need it. I'll remove that. Then we have we can now close our tag here. I'll just close it here. Then I'll format. So then we can do away with this. So here we now have something here. So I'll just come here and say we can borrow what we have for our buttons. So I'll do file request. Then I'll add this. Then here I can say add file request. So that is add file request. So then we can close some tags here. Then I'll also, so if I just format our app, if you go back here, so this is how it looks. So if I try to close it, you can see it's been able to close. But now our model looks a bit weird. Now there's one thing that I want us to do. Here we are saying file request, file name. So users should not be typing names. So here I'll say file. We can call this file ID. Then we can say this is we can call this int. Can have here int. Then you can say document ID. This should be a foreign key from documents. Remember, we have a list of documents in our system. So you can say this is a document. Then you have department, that's fine. Requester, that's the person who is requesting. Approver, the person who will approve status is fine. File extension, it's also fine. Now I want us to rename this to file document ID. And here we can say this is display name, and we can say this is so we can do this. We say this is a file name. Then here we can say this is a department name. So this is department name. So that's fine. Then you can also have here, let me just do away with this. You can also have here requested by. Do we? Yeah, I think it's fine. We can do that. We have even approved. So every time a file is requested, it has to be approved. So it's approved by. We also have status. So this is the status of the file. So whether it's pending, approved, rejected. So we'll be tracking all those statuses. So let me just do that. Then subject, I can do here. So we can call these comments. I can say this is comments. We can even rename this to comments. Then we can say this is a file extension. File extension. File extension. I want also to add another thing here. I want us to ensure a user is able to tell us how long they'll want the file. So you can see here, we can say here, date time, can say here. Then we can say here from date. So this is when they request. You can say request from. Then here, so this then we should also have here another date time. You can say here end date. Request from request due date. So this is when the file will be. So they can request file from this particular time to this time. So once that date lapses, then they should not be able to access the document. So after doing this, remember we need now to make some changes, but we've now introduced some errors. So if you stop our app, we can go back to file request and you'll see an issue here. So this one, I'll just copy it and replace it here. Then I can say this is file document ID. I'll also have this as a document ID, and this will be my document ID. Then these will be my comments. So I'll have these as comments, and also these as comments, these as comments. Then we can have we have also some now issues on this other side. So I'll say here document ID. You say this is document ID, and you also have this as a we can do your document, then dot file name. Then same thing here should be comments. So if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, do us a favor by subscribing, like, and also comment down below. Tell us where you're watching from and some of the things that you'll want us to incorporate on this particular project. So we have this is a document. Then here we have so we can call this document ID. Then this will be our document. Document, then we can do here full file name. Then we can have here the comments and do comments, and also this one is comments. So that's cool. So the next thing also on edit, you can do the same thing. So here we'll replace this and also update it here. So we can do document ID. This is document ID, and this should be a drop down. So then we have here comments. We have comments. We have comments, and we have comments. So then we have all this data. Now, if you go to, we need to remember we've updated our model. So I want us to see if there's anything that we can add on our file request. So we have the document that's fine, comments, file extension, from date, and end date. And we can say here, so they can request. Yeah, I think we cannot allow the users to request folders, but we can allow them to request files. So that's fine. So here, then we can go to tools, you get package manager console. Then here you can say, let me just do that, and I can say add migration, and I can say here file request request updates. So if I just press enter, then our file migration will be generated and will be good to proceed. So we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider subscribing. So these are failed because we have an issue. So let's just check on our, let's try to build our app. We have an error somewhere. Let's just try to rebuild it, and you should be able to see where the issue is coming from. So you can see we have an issue here. So this is a document ID. Then here you can say document. Then you can do name. Then that's fine. So let's go to the NuGets Package Manager console. Then you can say add migration. Then so a migration file should be generated, and it should be good to go. So let's wait for migration file to generate, and as you can see, our migration file has been generated. We have some tables here, I mean changes that we've done. So to update this to our database, we should do update database. Press enter. Then our database will be updated and will be good to proceed. So let's just wait and see how it goes. So you can see there all is well. We now have all the changes done. So if we try to go to our create form, we now have request new. So these are a new request. We have document, department, requester. So requester, we don't need these as well. Approver, we don't need the approver. Comments and file extension. So there are some details that we are going to ensure on our file request. So let's just go to create action. We'll change here on create. We don't need the approver ID created by, we just need the department. And for department, we will only display the name of the department when you're trying to view. So here we'll change this, instead of ID, we just do description. The next thing that I want us to do is file extension also. We'll pull here and we'll only have a description as well. So just go back I'll go back here and I can do a description. Modified by request ID, we don't need even the status. Now, if we come back here, we will do that. We'll only need the file request. Then we'll do the same. So we don't need the approver, created by department. We just need the name. Then file extension statuses, we also don't need it. So here we just need the description. We'll just copy this and have it here. So the same applies to all the other sections. So I'll just copy and replace all this. Go here as well and replace all this. So there we go. Then, as you can see, I can remove this binding here. I'll just remain with my, that's fine. Then once we have that, then that's cool. So the next thing that I want us to do is on most of our applications, remember we are getting the user who is logged in, and as you can see here, something like this. So we can go to our file request, and now on our file request we need to get some things. So our file request, we need to have the created by, created on, then requester. I think for the requester, you can request for someone else. Can you request for somebody's file? Assuming we are, I think for our case, let's just lock it so that the person who requested will be the one. So here you'll say requester ID requested. Do you have requested on? No, we don't. So if we check our model, we have requester ID, then approver ID, status, comments, and request date, and request due date. So that's fine. So we can only have here requester ID, and we do that. Then here I'll just let me just use this. I'll do here, not now. We'll be using view models, yeah, but for now let's just go with that. Then our save changes, we are going to add our ID, user ID. The reason as to why we do this, we've overridden our save changes to track the audits. So you can see here we are using the on before changes, then we are tracking, we detect the changes, and we actually loading our so we are doing here audit trails. So you can see we have all values, affected columns, and everything that we should actually be using. So that's one thing that you need to check and ensure that you have as well. So this is the audit trail, and then down here we have our models, and these are actually translating to tables in our database. So if you go back here, so let's just try to launch our app and see. So if we go to file create, file request, so we'll be having, let's just wait and see. So this is our application. So this is how it looks like. You can see it has all these data that you see here. Then we have the file request. So if I click new, I'll be having the file request here. If I say new file request, then you can see here I now have add new file. So the new file, you can select the document, which we don't have currently. You have the departments, it has loaded, comments, and even a file extension. Now, but here it is loading everything. So we need to make some changes. So one thing that I need us to do here is I'll just come here and say, we need to use the document ID. So I'll just come here and say document ID is equals to documents. Then on documents, I'll also do here document ID. On documents, we need to display the names of the documents. So I'll pick this, and also, so that's fine. So we'll also pick this drop down, and we can have it here on create. Then we can remove this. So this will load our drop downs. So if you go now to our create, we'll have our view bag. So you see a SPNet items, view bag. then document. So it will get the list of documents. Now, there is one thing that we need to do. So if you check on our drop down for, so let me just come here. If you check on our drop down for files, we had all these options here. So which is, you can see it's weird, we have everything here. So we need to filter this out. So I'll just go to our controller, file request. Then for file extension, I'll do here dot include. Then I can say x dot system code. Then I can say here dot where. You can do just copy this and go to all our drop down options and paste it here. I'll also go down here. I'll paste that. Also here, I'll have it. So I now have all those options there. So that's cool. So if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, just consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. So tell us what you want to see in this particular series and also on this application. So if I just proceed, I should move forward, and here you can try to, let's just see how it looks like. So this is our app. As you can see, then we have our file request. So there we go. And if we say add new, you can see here it is now listing all the documents. So all these documents, you can see we have the document type, we have procurement, these are departments. But assuming we'll be also be looking forward to make this a bit user friendly. Assuming you have like 1,000 files, so it will change how we are going to approach this particular section. So here, maybe we'll change it from the department, then it will filter all the documents for the department. And now you can pick the file extension. Then, so you can rearrange this. So maybe even if we can go back here, you can try to rearrange this. You can say you can start from the department. Then if you select department, it will filter the documents. Then you can select the file type extension. Then you can now select the document that you want. So if you come back here, you can see you can select from the department. You go to the extension. Then you select now the file name and the documents. But now I want us to do something. You can see on our extension we don't have anything, because we need to come to system codes, and on system codes I can say add new. Then I'll go to our system code details, and I can say here, so let's not system codes but file request. I'll come here and say extensions. I'll come here and say extension. So I'll do this. Then I'll have here, I'll come here and say system codes new. Then I'll have this code here. Then here I'll say this is file extensions. So this is file extensions. So if I click add, then you'll have our file extensions. This is our file extension here. So I can go to system codes here, and I can try to have different file extensions. So I can say new. So what extension do we have? I don't know if we had created some, so let's just confirm. PDF, Word. So I don't think we have any file extension, so we can try to add now so that you're able to see. So I'll add new. Then we can say here we are picking file extension. We say here PDF, and this is PDF. Can add another one. We say this is file extension. We say here Word, and this is Word. I'll add. Then I'll also come here and I say here file extension, I say Excel, and this is Excel. I'll add it. Then I'll also add another one. I say here txt. So this is txt. I'll add it. I'll also add here you say file extension, you say png. So this is png. We can have different file extensions. I can add that. Then I can also add here say JPEG. I can also say this is JPEG. I'll add that. Then I'll also add this, and I can say this is what you can say this is zipped, and this is zipped. So if we do that, then we go to file request and say new. So you'll realize that on our file extensions, we now have those files that we've just selected. So if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, just consider subscribing, like, and also comment down below. So we have the PDF, Word, Excel, TXT. So these are the files. So now this gives us an idea. So you see here when you're doing file request, you also need to know on the documents. So I don't know if we had incorporated that. So if we add new, you see we have here document name, folder, document type, department, retention. We have the action and description. But also when you're adding a document to our repository of documents, we should know the extension. That means we can go to our model. We need to add that. It's a very important thing. So I'll go to our document model. Then I'm going to borrow what we just have here on our file request. So that is the file extension. We need to know the file extension. So I'll copy this, go to our documents. I think we were doing something here. So we were doing file, then we do file extension. So this is the one that is system provided, but we now have the one that the user selected. So I come here and we'll actually validate based on the file that you've uploaded and what you've chosen as the file extension. So this is we can call this extension. You can say this is a file extension ID, and so here you can say this is document extension. You can call this document extension, and we can have this as document extension. Document extension. So you'll make this nullable because you already have some data. So this is document extension and this is document extension ID. So let's add, can do here NuGet package manager console, and we can do here. So let's do add migration. Then we can say document extensions. So if add migration, then our migration will be file will be generated, and we can proceed to add to update the database. So there we go. So we have our migration file generated. Here you can see. Then we can do here update database. Update database. So let me zoom that. Then press enter. Then our database will be updated. So you notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So if you're one of them, just consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. So as you can see, that's cool. So if we go to our document on create here, we can update our documents before department. We can update it to be we can have the file extension, so that you can call this document extension. So I call this document extension ID. Then I'll do that. Then I can also do that. Now we can borrow what we have in our document extension. You see this? So I'll copy this and go to documents. And then on the create action, I'll paste it here. So I'll just do that, and I can do this as well. So here I'll just remove this, and there we go. I don't know what this means. This should actually be description, and this should be ID. We need to change that. So then we need to move this, and we can also have it down here. But now this should be selected. So I'll just do here. Just do here slash comma. Then I do document dot document extension ID. So that's fine. Do the same thing. I'll copy that and paste it here. So these are drop downs for file extension. There we go. We also have it here. So let me just copy it. So I'll copy and paste it here. And that is fine. So I'll just come here and I'll do that. Now, if we go to file request, I'll come to file request, and I need to change this. This is what we need to save to the database is the ID, and what we need to display is the description. So I'll also do the same thing here. Then here I'll change this to ID. So that's what needs to happen. So I'll also go to this section. I'll say this is ID description. That's fine. That's fine. Now, if we proceed, if we launch our app now, we should be able to, so when you're adding documents, we should be able to select the file type that we have. And so I'll just go to our app. And you can see here, we have on the documents now, whenever we are creating documents, we should select the file types. You can see I've added another thing called file extension. We are calling it file expansion, but it should be extension. So I'll go to documents. So on documents, you can see on create. So let's see on create here. So I'll say document system code file extension, then display is this description. So then I'll just go to these. I'll say on documents, where is it? On documents create, this should be file extension. So if I update it, then we should be able to see a list of file extensions. So you can see we have our list of file extensions. Then you can always also have these drop down. Instead of having it automatically selected, you can do option value. So let me zoom and say this is value. Then I can do that. I can say select folder. Then that's closed. I can also do the same here. Then I can say select document type. Then you can also do the same for file extension. And say select file extension. That's fine. Then we also have here department. I'll also select department. I'll say just select department name. Select department name. Then we have here. You can do that. Select retention period. Select retention period. And I can also do here select retention action. I'll say here retention action. That's fine. Then we provide those and description. So if we just update our app, you should be able to see that we now have, if I go back here, you can see now you can have this selected. You see this is the option. So the select option will be the first one. Select folder, department, retention, and all this. So let's try to add a document. We see how it looks like. So here we can say financial statement. So this should be financial statement. Then you can say this is a folder. Should be, you can say this is a client documents. Document type we say finance. So this is, then we say this is a PDF. Then here we say this is for finance. We have a department for finance, yes. Then retention period, you can say this is 30 days. Then you can have your description. You can say this financial statement. And you can select the document. So we'll be doing validations just to ensure that whatever we've provided is actually the correct file format. For example, you see we've attached PDF, but we are saying this is we have attached PNG, but we are saying this is a PDF. So if I click add, so you can see our application is added. And now if we go to the system, on documents, we have a new column that we've introduced called file extension. And it should only be having one document should be having a record, because that's a new file a new column that we just introduced. So this is the ID, and we are storing an int. Now, if we go to our app, I'll just go to our app here, and what I want us to do is I want to display file extension on my list. So on documents, under index, I'll come here and say this is documents. And here I'll do await. Just say await. Then I'll do here that. I'll try to do this. I'll also do that. Try to have one dot per line. So usually find it easy to have one dot per line. Then I can say here, so I'll also introduce now here my file document extension. So I'll call this document extension. Then here I'll say here to list async. So I'll just do that. Then you can have these documents here. Then here, because this is just retrieving, I can say as no tracking, and then that's fine. Then you see we now have our document extension. So if we go to our document extension, we are saying this is file extension and not expansion. So this is file extension. Then we can go to our list of documents, the index. Then here we can have a file type. So this will be document extension. Then we say here description. So this is one thing that we need to do. So what I want us to do now is let's just go to our, so where is it? So we have our header, and before, just after document name. So I'll just have this as a file extension, document extension, I mean, document extension ID. Then, so I want us to check something. So you see this one, this could be null. So I want us to say here, and so let's just remove this, and I want us to do here say item. Then I say dot document extension dot description. So this one I'll put this can be null. Let's just say this is null. Then I want to display something else. I can say not available. So that's what I want us to display. So you can do this. So this one, if it's null, then we don't have to worry. So let's relaunch our app and see. So if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So I'll just go to let's just launch our app. And here we go. We have it here. We now have our document, active documents. So as you can see, we now, everywhere we don't have the document status. So we need to also display status. So I'll just go to documents, and also I'll display here my status. I'll say this is a document status. I'll say status here, and then we can say this is a description. So then this is status ID. So you can say this status ID. Status ID. Then just after the here, can also display something here just before, and you can say this is status, and then we have the description. So if I just update our app, then we should be having the status. So you can see these statuses, they are all draft. So you can see how it looks like. Now, so this is how our app now looks like. We have the statuses, file extension, department, document type, document name, and document number. So document number, for those who are watching for the first time, document number is something that is being automatically request a file and proceed to ensure that we can do a new file request. I'll just go back here and say new file request. Then you can see we have procurement, department, file extension, and that. But now I want us to have status for new request and all those. So what we need to do is, for every new request, we need to ensure that we have a status. Remember, this is going to be approved, and every approval we need to have. So here I'll say code. So you can say file request status. Then I'll just call this file request status. So this is file request status. Then I can add. Once I add, I can come to system code details. I click new, select the file request status. Then I can say here for statuses that we have, we can have how many status can we have? We can have here, we can say pending. So this is the status that is pending approval, and we can say this is awaiting approval. So that is the name. And say awaiting approval. We can create another one. We call this file status. We can say approved, and we can say this is approved. We click, that's fine. You can also click here. We say this is file request status. You can say this is rejected, and we can say this is rejected. You can say here add. Then you can also have another one, file request status. We say this is cancelled. Then you can say this is cancelled. So we just click add, then that's fine. So you can now proceed and add a new file request, and then every new request that is done, a file should have a status called pending, because it has to be approved. So if you're watching our episode and you haven't subscribed, just consider subscribing, like the video, and share a comment down below, and we'll be happy to respond. So if I just go to file request and I say new, so I want us to So we still have department, extension, file name, and comments. But now we need to add two things here. So before comments, I just want us to add, you remember the end date? So we need to know the date when you are requesting the document. And you can say this is, you can say here type, say date. Then I can also copy this, paste it here, and say, so this should be start date from date. I'll do that. And then for the comments, you can have this as text area so that you can have a lot of comments. So if we update our app now, we should be able to see. So what is the issue here? We should be closing this. So if I update this, let's see. So we have yes. So we have an issue here. Let me do away with that. So we have our comments, but now this one I'll do here 12. Yes. So let me just do that. Then we'll have our comments here. So for the date, you'll be selecting the date here when you are requesting the document and when you are expected to return it back. Now, that's the important part that we need to have. Then the next thing that we need to check is if you go to our controller on the file request, I want us, whenever you click create a file request, we need to have a status ID for that. We need to automatically set that document request as pending, awaiting approval. And we had done something like that in our documents. So remember, every time you create a document, it is set to draft. Now, so this is what we are going to use. So if you go to file request, I'll check here and I can add this here. So I'll just come here and you can say file request status will be here. You'll say request. Every request will be pending, awaiting approval until it is approved. So you'll say request status, and we have here request status. Now, what was our status? So if we go to system codes, and here you can say approved. So this is what we wanted, file request status. So it has these statuses that you see. It has approved, cancel, pending, awaiting. So here on this one, you can make this capital as well for the code. So this is approved, and you can update. So we check here file request. So you can see that is all the codes are in caps. Now, awaiting approval, where is it? It's this pending. So here we'll come and say this is pending, but also we need to ensure that we have, so you can say this is document file request. So this is the file request status. So this is what we'll have here. So our request status will be that. So there is now, I think we've now been able to have the status. We have the requester created on and all that. So let's try to do a file request and see if there's anything that we'll need to do. So if you're watching our video until this particular point and you haven't subscribed, just consider subscribing and also comment down below. So I'll just go. So this is how our app looks like. So I'll go here to file request and we can request a file together. So I'll just do here new. And you can say this is the department. I can say procurement. This is the PDF document. This is the document. We say it's a financial statement. We are requesting from today and we need it up to tomorrow. So I say I need I need the document for analysis. So if I say add new, so we have an error. So what is the issue? You see here, we have the approver ID is not allowing null. So that's wrong. So we need to ensure that our table for file request, that is, where is it? It's approver is allowing null. That's approver ID. So where is it? Approver ID, you come here and you have a, yes. So where is it? We have something here called approver ID, which should be this one. So this one we should actually remove it. So we have the requester and all that. Now, because we've removed a column from the database and the table, we have to add migration. So I'll say add migration. They removed approver ID file request. So just press enter, then our file request will be. So we have an error. That means there are some sections that we have used that particular. So let's just check. On the delete, I think we have it somewhere. So I'll just remove it. Then on the details, you also have it somewhere. You can remove it. Then also on edit, we have it here. Then that's fine. So remember, you can't run migration when you have errors. So I'll just come here and add migration, and that should be good. So I think we still have an issue. Let me try to rebuild our app so that you're able to see where the problem is coming from. So we have, so there we go. We have an error. So let's see where the error is. So we have this particular section. These are includes. So that's why. You also have it here. You also have it somewhere here. So that's fine. So let's add migration now. Or we can rebuild. Let's rebuild to see if there's any errors. So we are rebuilding and see if we have any errors. So we don't have any error. So everything is it has succeeded. And if you go here, remove that to add migration, and then we see how the application looks like. So if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So that's fine. So we can come back here and we say update, and you can say here database. We'll just click on it, and then we are able to see that. So let's wait and see. So our migration is running, and there we go. We'll just launch our app. And then you should be able to see how it looks like. So there we go. So we have here, where is it? Here, our file request. And then you can do here new file request. So you select the department, say here finance. Then you say these are PDF documents. Then we have here our financial statement. We say here this is the time requested, and this is when we are expecting. You say this is good, or you say this is I need the document for analysis. So then I can say here add. So you can see our file has been added, and we have the department requester extension created on and status. But here the file name is not displaying. Why? So if we go to our file request, we should ensure that we are able to include. So here I can say these files. Then I'll have one dot per line. So I'll do this. Then we can have So that's fine. And then I can also do here to list async. Then here I'll return my view with files. Then here I'll also do await. Then I can also say dot as no tracking. That's fine. So then we need to include the documents. So here I'll say documents. Then on our index, we'll now be having the file request, we'll now be having document name. So we just launch our app, then it should be good to view the document that we just added. So these are a file. So let's just proceed. Here we go. We've now done a file request. What is the issue here? So you can see we have an error. So let's go to file request. What have we done? They say this is files. Yes. So we need to have this here. So that should be fine now. So let's relaunch it and see. So if you're watching our episodes and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. Tell us where you're watching, and we'll be happy to engage. So here we have the file request, and you can see this is our file request. This is the electronic documents management system. Then here we now have the document name, departments. We have the requester, the file type, created on, created by, and the status. If I can create a new file, I'll come here and say char. I want a JPEG. Here the file name is this. I want it from today to this day, and say I need to read HR policy. Then if I say add, you can see this is our file request, and all the documents here are awaiting approval. So you can add another one. So you can change this extension instead of it being selected automatically based on what we had done. So remember what we had done on our document, something like this. We have the options which are now. I'll come here and say, I'll do this. So select department. I'll say select department. I'll also say select file extension, and also I'll say select documents. Select this file extension and also select document. So because you are getting it from a list of documents, then that's fine. So if we update this, then our page will reflect. So you can see here, the first thing is select, and you should be able to see what we've so you see here. So you cannot select the department accidentally, or even the file extension. So this is expansion. It says expansion. We should actually change this. This should be extension. So let's relaunch. So we are relaunching that. So we notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. So just come here and you can say this is file extensions. Then here I can say we have you can add new. Then you can say here system audits, file extension is PNG. Say this is PDF. We have here, say this is macro code source manual. We select that. I have to here, we say here good document. Then I can just say here add file request. So you can see this is now our file requests that are being added. And in case a document is missing, you can come here and add. So you see, You can come here and add a new document. You select up to the file extension and it will appear. So for example, if we say here, you say here EDMS manual, the training manual. Then we have the folder here will say EDMS. Then we say, we call this, let's have this as EDMS manual. This is a training manual. It's in PDF. Department is IT. Retention period is 5 years. Then we say, once that is done, we can archive. Then we can select the file. I'll just copy the file here. Then I'll say this is the training manual. So this is the, I can do here, this is the training manual. So after doing that, then I can say here add. So if we say add, so our file has been added. Then we have, if we go to file request and do new, on our files, we should see we can request that particular document, EDMS manual, training manuals. We say this is IT. We need a PDF. We are requesting from today up to this time. We say yeah, good. Now, there's a lot of logics that we are going to do, such that when a document is requested, it can be requested by another person. So you can see here, we have all these statuses are pending, awaiting review. Now, I want us to do another thing. So remember, we have our folders. So let's just go to our folders. So I want us to see how we can make things looks a bit pretty, and we can see these are our folders, how it looks like, and it doesn't look that great. So the way it looks like. So I want us to, we can try to style it up. So let's go to our folders. So this is our index page, how it looks like. So I'll do here. So this is so you can say a card, and I can add some style here. I can say a shadow, then SM, then you can say border, then you can do here 0. Then we have our card header. So I'll try to put a header. So just to see. So inside here, I can say div class, can do a card header. Then you can say bg white. Then you can say d flex. Then you can say justify content between. Then you can say align items center. Where is it? Align items. Say here items center. Then I can close it here. Then we can say div class. You can do d flex. Then you can say align items center. This is, let me remove this. I can copy from here. I can have it here. Then I can also say gap 2. Then I can close it. Then inside I can say I class. Then I can say bi folder. Then fill. And I can say text primary. Then I can do here fs 4. Then I can close it. Then down here I can do h5, then I can say this is a class, do mv0, then fw, can do here semi bold, then here I can say folders management. So then down here I can just copy, I can take this, I'll come down here and I do this. I say here sp action create, then class btn primary, then I can say this is btn small sm, I mean, then so this we should close it here. I can do that. Then inside here, just before the add new, I can say add folder. Then here I can have I can say class bi, then plus. I can do plus circle. Then I can close this. Then I'll have my folder. This is my folder. I'll have my div, then I'll have my card here. So on my card, then I can remove this and I just have my, I have my table. Now, so if I try to update, let's update and see how it looks like. So you can see here, we now have a folder management. So you can see we have the folder. And then at the top here, we have the button. You can see the button here is add folder. So if I click add, then it takes us back. So I want us to just ensure that we are aligning our app and to make it a bit more user-friendly and as we go along. Now, if we go to our table, I want us to have our table. So this is our table. We have a table head. I can try to make this a bit. So I can say class, say table, then we say here light. Then table row can have this. We can say class. We say here text. I say muted. If we update this, let's see how it looks like. You can see this is how our folder looks like. Then we have we now have one thing that we need to do. So you remember we have our code. So this code of ours, I want us to do something. So our table, so these are our table headers. But if you go to table data here, I want us to have this in a span. I'll say span plus, then I'll say fw semi-bold, then I can say text primary. Then I can close this in a span. I can say this is close it. Then inside here, I'll just do away with this, and I can say here, I can do at, I can say at item, then dot code. So if I do that, let's update our app and see how it looks like. You can see this now has links. So these are links, and then the same case for the folder name. So I'll also come to folder, but this one I'll want to change this. I'll say here I say class, then I can say bi folder, then so this should be folder, say bi folder 2, can do open. Then we can say here we can have a text, say text warning, then say me to, then here I can close this. Then just after that I can have here an item, then dot name. So that will be our folder name. So if I update our app, let's see how it looks. You can see this is our folder, and it is being displayed here. So all that. So if I try to do 100, you can see we have a folder displaying kind of an icon. So let's say here folder BI folder. Which one should we use? Let's say folder 2. Let's see how it looks. So I think we can leave the other one. So this is fine. So we can leave the other one. So if you're watching this particular episode and you haven't subscribed, just consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So that is one thing that you've done. Now we have the parent folder. So on the parent folder, I just want to do something. So let's go to the parent folder. So I'll say here at if, I can say at if item dot parent folder is not null. So that means this is a child folder. So I'll just do that. Then I can say span. I can say class. I can say badge. I can do here badge. Then BG light. I can just say light. Then I can say text dark. That's fine. Then I can close this. So do you have so bad? Yes, it's fine. Then inside our, so you can remove this. So inside our span here, you can do at item dot parent folder then dot name. So after doing this, then here we can say else if the parent folder is null. So that means this is a root folder. I'll just come here and I can say this is, I can do here text muted, the text muted. Then here I can say this, I'll just do here root. So that will be the root folder. So that's one thing. So I can just so let me do that. So if I try to update our app, it will look something like this. So you can see here, and I can also, I think I can also add, we can also add this BI folder here. I'll do something like this, and I'll also add it here. So if I update, you can see these are the root. So this is root, this is the parent folder. Then here on the parent folder name here, this will be parent folder ID. If we update it, it should read what we had. So you see, it's parent folder. Now we now have our parent folder. So you can see, and you can see all the root folders in our application. Now we can proceed. So as you can see here, we have edit, delete, and all that. We can make these actually to be in one table, and we can make it so that we don't, but I don't think we are using much of the space here. But I want us to make it more user friendly, so that whenever you click details, you're able to view. So for example, if we say, so this edit and view, they are misplaced. So let's just change this headers. We update, then it should be fine. So you can see you have edit, delete, and view. So this is now how our folders looks like. But now I want us to try to do something. So I want us to also align our documents such that whenever we, so if we go to we go to our folders. So let's just go to folders. If I do this, and here I can actually say here public, say I collection, then I can say here folder, then you can say here sub folder. We can just have it. You can say sub folders. But this will actually, you need to be keen with this because it can actually slow down your app. So yes, I'll just do this for now. Now there is one thing that you need to do. So if we go to our controller, I can come here and say, so that is under index. Do we need it here? I don't think we need it here. So you can add this on the details. Now I want us to check or create a details page so that you're able to, if we go to our details, where is it? Our folders details. So these are our folders details that you are going to improve. So I want us to improve this in a tree view. So we need to have this in a tree view, and we should be able to enhance and see what we need to do. So this one, so I want us to highlight. So you see here we have all the details that you had created. You have the code name, parent folder, created on, created by, which is more boring currently. So we just go to our app and we click details view. You see this is how it looks like, but I want us to improve this. So I want us to improve this and make it maybe in a tree view. Now what I want us to do, I want us to go to our page here. Then you can say this is folder details. So this is folder details. Then we'll change this section. So we can borrow from what we had done on create. So I'll just come here and we are going to do here card. Let me have the card details. I'll also paste this here. So you have the card, but for this card I'll do here shadow. I'll do SM. Then you can say here border, and do border 0. Then I can close it. Then you have we can have the border and have the card header. Then you can say BG white. So let me zoom it. BG white. Then the flex. Then you say justify content between. Then align items content. This is items center. Then here we can say H5 and close it. Then you can also say here plus do MB 0. Then inside our H5 we can do I plus, then BI folder, then you can say fill. So that's fine. Then you can say text primary, then you say here 2. Then we can close this. Then inside here you can say this is folder explorer. So that's fine. Then just below it you can have a div. You can close our div. You can say sp, and say sp action. Then we can say edit, but you can also say sp root. So in case you want to edit, say ID, and this should be equals to, this should be 1 sp. Then you can say here at model, then dot ID. Then you can also say class btn outline primary. Where is it here? Then you can say this is btn /sm. Now after doing that, then we can close this. Then here we can have our I class, and say bi pencil. Then we can close it. Then outside here we can say edit. So that's one. Then you also have you can copy the same and you can have it here. Then you can say this is sp. So this should be sp action. This should also be sp action, and you can say this is index. So for index you don't need so this should be item root ID. So I'll say sp root ID. I don't need the ID on index. Then this class I can remove it as well. Then I can just have here btn outline. Then you can do secondary. Then I can just say this is btn sm. Then I can say this is back. Can do here back. So we'll have that. Then you have our div. Then we can close our header. So we can close our header. Then for our card, so we have our card. So we'll need now to display all this data here. So the first thing that I want us to do, so here I can close the tag down here. So I'll remove this from here because we have it at the top. Then on our card here, I'll come here and say so div class, then we say equals to say mb4. There we go. Then I can display some data here. But we can even have this as a let me just show you something. If we go to our table, we can have this as a table. So let's have this here. I'll come here and be on details. I'll paste this here. Then I'll remove this, and I'll also remove this. Then I'll have my t header, t row. Then here I'll be saying this is t header. I can remove this. T header, and here we'll be having this is our table row. Then we can have this as table data. I can remove this. So let me remove all this, then we see how it looks like. I'll remove up to here. Then I need to close here. I do table row, table head, and table this one. Then if I format this, this is how our page looks like. Let's update it and see how it looks. And I'm going to do here view. So you can see we have the folder explorer, we have the edit. The back button doesn't have anything. Why is it? So you see here our back button, you have class btn. So we have back. So this is can say this is, can say here warning. Then I can say that is this is, and we are warning, and this is outline. Then we have btn. Then I can do here, I can have this here, so I can do this class to be here. Then I can copy something like this. Okay. Then I can have it here. Then you can say this is backspace reverse. Let's see that. If we update this, our UI will be, so what has happened? So we'll have, let me relaunch. So we have BI, backspace, reverse, index, that's fine. So let's relaunch it and see. So if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So you notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you haven't subscribed. So if we go back here, go to folders. So this is how our folders looks like. If we save view, so you can see here we now have our back button, we have edit, and this is the folder code, and we have the client here. So I'll just now come here and we say this is a table row. For table row, I'll be having two values. So I'll say folder, I'll say file, this will be document. Now I want us to check something. So if I go to our model, name, so we'll have the name of the folder, and this is the name. So we are updating this. So you can see I have the folder code and the folder name. Then also let's add, now we'll be having two rows. I'll also do this again. Then I'll also come here and say created by, this is created by dot full name. Then I'll say here created on, and this is created on. If we update that, then we'll be having brief details about the folder. You can see you have the folder code, created by, and created on. But now that's a brief information about the details that we have. But now I want us to have down here, I want us to have a tree. So you can say h6, then you can say here class mb3. So I think we can have this as h2 something, yes. Then you can say this is inside here, you can say I plus, we need an icon, bi, say diagram 3. Then you can say here. Then we can close this. Then here we can say this is a folder structure. So if I update that, let's see how our app looks like. I'll just come back here, and you can see this is the folder structure. So we need to display now the folder structure. Now I want us to come here and we say ordered list, an ordered list. Then you say class, you say tree, sorry, so this is class, you say here tree. Do you have a class like that? B3. We are going to, we can actually have a class that we are style that you're going to define. So, and that class we can define a style. So let's say B3. Then you can say here list and styled. So let's do that. Then for our tree, we need to have we need to have a list here. So you can say list, Then you can say here div a class, then you say folder b4 have folder. You can say this is b folder item. So folder item. So you're going to actually have a style. So let's say folder. We're going to define a style for our folders. So what we'll do here, we can say folder item, then you say deflex, then we say align items. So you can say these items, then you can do that, you can close it. Then you can say if model, then dot subfolders is not equal to null. So that means and, let's say and model dot subfolders as anything. So we need to have all the list of the subfolders here. You can say span, then you can say class. We'll also have our, you can do your toggle, and do toggle, then you can say here so this, you can say this is toggle. You can have a class here, so we'll define that class. Then here we can say, you can have an icon class, then bi caret right. Where is it? Caret right fill, this one. Then you can close. Then else, if there is nothing, we'll just have a span, and then you can say this is we don't need this. So you can say this is oh, and we don't need anything. And just down here, you can say icon I class, say bi folder 2, and you can say text warning, and we do 2. Then I can also close this. Then on this particular section, you can actually click each of the icon to navigate to the details. So I'll say sp action, say details. Each subfolder can be displayed in a different details page. Then you can say sp root, you display the ID. So here we have the you pass the ID, and you can say here model then you can do here dot ID. So after doing that, then I can have here, I can say here class text decoration, text decoration none. Then you can say here fw, can do here semi-bold. Then I'll just close this. Then inside you can display the name of the folder. So I'll say model dot name. So then I'll close that. So you can see, if I just update our app now, let's see how it looks like. So you can see here we now have client documents. This is the folder that we've just clicked. So we need now to display all the subfolders that we have. So for those who are watching us for the first time, we've been able to we are trying to organize our folder structure, so you can see how it looks like. And if you're watching our video and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, like the video, and also comment down below. So Thank you for commenting, and I'm happy to ensure that you're able to learn this deeply and showcase real-world scenarios of how the solutions can be developed. So without talking much. So here we have our folders. Now, just after the div now here, you can check. So you can say, can come here and say, so let me just come here and say, if our, so let me zoom. So if our model, so here is a if model dot subfolders is equals to, is not equal to null. So it's the same case we are doing here. We'll just come here and do this again. Then I'll, same case. So I'll just come here and say, I'll copy this. But here now, we need to nest. So remember, we need to nest. So I'll say this is, where is it? So where did we have our unstyled? So there's somewhere we did unstyled. So here, we can just do this. You say this is nested. And then we have this is, you can say list unstyled. Then we say M4. Then we can do here for each. So we need to list to nest actually. So you say for each. Then for each variable child in. So this is now all those subfolders. Then I can just come here and do this. We'll be able to nest everything that is, so these are the children folders. Now, and then remember one thing. So here we need to have these as, so this is not span, but it's an ordered list. We say nested and we have that. Then we need to display, the, so I think we can see how we are going to do this. Now, let me just update this and we see how it looks like. So we click here, clients. So you see this is how it looks like. But now there is one thing that we can do. So I think on folders, let's come to folders, and I want us to create a partial view. So I think we can, just to make things easier, I'll create a partial view, say new. So this is an empty one. So I'll create it and call it folder tree node. Then this folder tree node, I'm going to copy on index. So you see from where we had, so where we had our list, you see this from list. You see from an ordered list, we have this here. I'm going to copy this and paste it inside here. So on our tree node, we'll be having a list, but also we need to supply our model. So we need to supply our folder model. So we'll have it here. I'll paste it there. Then we'll have subfolders, all that. Then we have this. We have what we've just done there. We display the parent folders. Then for the children folders, we say nested. Then we have this, and then we can actually have we can actually loop through the partial tree node, and we pass the child. So this is the partial, then child. So if every child is, then it will return and do the same thing. So, but now we need to go back to our scripts, where is our details. Then you also need to display the tree node here. So we can do here at HTML. Then you also need to say partial. So this is the tree node. We don't need to say you need to pass here tree node, and we pass the model. But for down on within the tree node, we pass the child. So it will be able to retrieve and pull through the list of records. So if we go to the details again, we have this div, we've closed there, and also this is closed. So this closed, so it's within our card. Now there's a style, so if we need to add some style. So I'll go to www-root, then assets. Then we had created something called on CSS called custom. So remember this custom. So here I'll add some style. So I'll say here dot folder, and I'll say here item. Then you can say here padding. I'll do 6 px, 10 px. Then I'll also do border radius. Then I'll say this is 6 px. I'll also have cursor. I'll also say cursor. I'll do pointer. Then so this should be cursor. Then I'll also do here transition. I'll do 0.25, 0.2. Yes, that's fine. Now we do that. So this is the folder item. So you also need to, I'll copy this here, and I can do folder item, and I can say hover. So then I can say here background color. I can say here I'll have a background color. Let me just pick color. So I can have this color here. Sorry, I can have a color. I can have this color. So this background color. So this folder over. Then we can have another style called nested. I think we had so I can do that, and then I can say display none. I can also have here dot active say here dot nested. We'll say here active nested. Then I'll also say display none. So I'll close this. So this will be active nested. Then I can do dot toggle. Then I can do that. I can say cursor. I can do pointer. Then with it, I'll do here. I'll do 15 px. 15 px. Then I can also do here. So this will be our style. Let me just format it. We have this. So we have item hover, and we also have folder dot item 16, and that's fine. Now ensure that our style has been imported on shared layout, the layout. So if you go up, you realize you have a custom style here. So that's one thing that you should check. But now, because we have that, we need now to go to our app on the details. That's folders. Then we have details. Where is it? So go to action, then details. So you can see here. So here you can say dot include. Then you can say x dot. You can use the same one, f. Then this one also will be f. Then dot subfolders. So we need to have all the subfolders So here if we check, we can only retrieve parent folder and subfolders. So if we go back to details, we have this parent folder as well. So let's try to relaunch our app and see if we can be able to show all the routes. And in case if we are able to click, let's just confirm. So I'll go to active folders. Then I'll want to view all those folders that has, so for example, this one. So if I click here, view. So you can see we have our EDMS. And if we go back here and I can say HR policies, we have invoices. I'm trying to see where the one with the, can say like clients, contacts. Where is the contacts? Let me open that. You can open the root folders. Let's say this one. You can see here, it has an icon. So it has this icon here. So if we click on it, you should actually now define the action whenever you click on this particular option here. What does it do? If we go here and click on our, where is our folder tree, our tree. So if we click here, we can also click here to see if we have subfolders. If I refresh, you can see it has one subfolder, and the subfolder is called EDMS manual. So that's the subfolder. So if we just proceed, do you have any subfolders? You can see here it also has another subfolder. This is EDMS manual. We proceed. Is it going inside here? This. Yes, it's looping through. Now, if we proceed, so this is now how the subfolders looks like. But we need now to ensure that when you click on the user manual, then you're able to display the tree of the documents without any hesitation. Now let's go. Let's proceed. So what I want us to do is I want us to go to our page. Where is it? On our details. So I'll define here a script. So I'll say here, script type. Say this is JavaScript, and then I can close it. So I'll format this. Then inside here, I can say documents. And I can say add event listener. Then I can just say this is it. Say DOM content loaded. Say DOM content loaded. I can say this is a function. Then you can open. Then you say here documents. And say here documents. Then dot query selector all. Then I can do here. I say open brackets. And I say dot toggle. So that is dot toggle. Then I say here dot for each do your function. Then we say here toggle. Then I'll close it and I can open it here. So I'll say query selector all toggle for each function toggle. Then I can say here toggle dot add events listener. Then I can do here click, then comma, we say here function, Then we say is our function, and I can open it here as well. Then we say e dot stop propagation. Then we can also say variable parent list equals to this dot close, and say closest. Then we can say here li. So this is closest. Then I can also say parent e dot class list dot toggle say here active. Then here I'll also have can say here variable icon equals to this dot query selector. Then I can do here then I'll close that. Then I say if so I'll just need to add this from somewhere. Let me just add it so that we go fast. I'll add that. So we have parents, all this, so that you're able to, then we have that. Then here I'll just close it, and also this one I'll also close it. There we go. Then also this one I'll close it. Now here I'll just format it. So let me reload this and see how it looks like. So we need to ensure we have so I just want us to view all the details that are being, that is the subfolders and the folders that we have. So we just go back here and you say folders. Then we say here, we click client documents. That's not the case. We can check for user manuals. So here, if we click on it, you can see we now have parent folders. So let's also add another folder under user manuals 2020. So we click new folder. I say user manuals. Where is it? User manuals 2020. We say here training. We say here training materials. I'll add. I'll also create another one for user manuals 2020. I'll say here analysis. The analysis. This is materials. Then I save. I'll also say here in invoices. I'll do here invoices. So let's just confirm how it looks like. So I'll say here invoices, then you can say here user manual 2020. Then I'll add it. So if we come to EDMS folders, you see we have these three. So if I just click on I just need the root one, EDMS 2020. Where is it? Why don't we have if I just come here and say EDMS. Okay, so I think I can just pick this one. Let me view. So if I click here, you can see I now have the training materials. So I can also try to add subfolders within the training materials. Let me try to add. I say training material, I say training. I can do a Jan training. I can say a January training 2020. I'll add another one, January, I say Feb. This is I'll also do a Feb training. Then I add. I'll also try to add March training. Also try to add a March training. I'll do this is a code, and this is training material. Then I'll also try to add for analysis. Say Jan analysis. Also say this is Jan analysis 2020. Analysis. Then this is analysis. Then I'll just say here add. I'll add another one for analysis. I say Feb analysis. Then we can do here Feb analysis 2020. So if we check our EDMS and say view, you can see this is our parent folder. If I click here, you see if I click analysis, it takes me to analysis. If I click on it, it shows me the parent folders for each of that documents. Now I want you to, so as you can see now we have our folder structure well arranged. I'll just come here to folders. If I say view, I'm able to see analysis. I click here, and whenever I click that, it takes me back to the main parent folder. So that's mainly what we wanted us to cover. So as you know, you're doing an electronic documents management system. For those who are watching and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. So today we've been able to cover file request. You can request a file. You can also, we've made some changes to our documents. You can add new documents to the system. You can also all have clients. We've also tried to improve our folder structure where you can see the folders, and you can actually, if you click on view, you can see the specific folders that are there within the system. So if you click on any of the links, for example, analysis, then you see the analysis material. If you click on it, then you'll see the subfolders within it. So I want us to leave it there for today. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and see you in our next episode. Bye.